Knight Rider has the distinctive bass thing, ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. Then I had the rhythmic thing, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then I had the melody, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. A lot of people had no idea who did that or what I did. Now people know.
Do you know what I'd really like to do?
Nope. But I got a feeling you're going to tell me. Dun, 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 dun. Every time you heard that theme, people would run to their television sets.
It was different. It was the first one that was really a synthesizer main title. Knight Rider was tracked by the film editor or somebody, I don't know. I always assume the film editor because he's the one who walks in with this and says, oh, look what I found. Perhaps it was somebody else. A German piece of synthesizer music. He put this little piece in and it seemed to work with the image of the car. And they tried to buy it. In other words, they tried to purchase the piece, but it was not public domain or anything. So I said, we've really got to do something like that, but different.
I remembered a theme out of a classic piece. We're talking about, you know, at the time of Mozart or something. It was and I think it was called Cinderella Suite, the piece that this was from. I took a little bit of that theme and embellished on it and worked with Stu Phillips.
And Glenn sat with me. We sat in an office down in Universal, with the little piano there, and we talked over a whole bunch of ideas of how to do it. And we collaborated for a bit on it, and he listened and he said, yeah, okay, but I want to, you know, make sure we get that sound. Well, what we ended up with is nothing like that piece of German synth music. The hope was to do something original, something maybe that was going to be fresh and new. I did not have a great deal of knowledge about synthesizers. So I found 3 synthesizer players who did, and I hired all 3 of them. And that's how we did the score with the 3 synthesizers and the acoustical rhythm section. It was a new thing on television at that point, having a main title that ran over a minute. I mean, generally, main titles were a lot shorter. Networks are very superstitious about themes. If it brings people out of the kitchen into the den to watch the television, that's what they want. And in this particular case, the minute you could not miss the opening bars of that theme. If you're familiar with the pilot, after he gets shot and dies and gets transported to this island and the mansion and everything else, the Knight Rider theme does not play. So there's a whole complete piece of music written over that with a very, what I call a plaintive type of theme playing. That theme was written to show his troubled past and the tragedy that had just happened and everything else. I never played the Knight Rider theme until the car is actually uncovered.
I recognize the more rudimentary controls such as the accelerator, Devin. I do know how to drive.
I am among a rare few that actually make attempts to use the theme throughout the show. I always try to have various elements. I can draw from little things from the theme. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4 distinct elements of that theme that I could use anywhere in the thing. Secondly, Glenn Lawson's style, one of his styles of producing anything, is always to have a bit of humor in everything he does. He always likes that little sense of humor, that little touch of irony. So many of these serious cues, if you listen to them, always end with ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. As popular as the show was, and as popular as the theme was, there was never anything done to promote the theme. Until 20 some odd years later, now all of a sudden everybody wants to do this. There are 3 hit rap records that were out. The latest one was an Indian Punjabi MC and Jay-Z of Knight Rider, plus Busta Rhymes and Timbaland and Magoo. Those are almost 4 or 5 years ago, but all of those were hits. So it took all of this time for somebody to actually want to do something with the Knight Rider theme. And now it's, I think, more popular than it was when it was popular.
I see it, but I don't believe it.
I have a book of fan mail that's unbelievable. So overboard and so generous with their flattery. It's kind of exciting, you know. It's like I'm suddenly been rediscovered. And I guess that comes from keeping a low profile most of your career.
One man can make a difference, Michael.